today is going to be pigeons. So we're just going to take it step by step and open up the hips a little bit. So let's just take a fold. So fold over at your waist. I'm just going to walk you through it and maybe join in with some mobility. Walk yourself out to a high plank position. Just sit here for a minute. Not really a minute, but let's just do some big circles over the wrist. So push those shoulders past the fingertips and loop them around in the other direction. Really try to push the corners of those wrists. Alright, from here, down dog or pike, whatever you want to say. Press the hands into the floor. Open up the upper back. Drop your heels to the ground. Take a few breaths. Inhale, lift your left leg up. Rotate your lower body over to your left so your hips are stacked. Stretch out that left side body. That feels really great. I don't know about you guys. Now bring that knee in towards your chest and then drop it down into a pigeon. So, yeah, perfect. So take a couple seconds here and situate yourself. Try to get that ankle up a little bit if you have to manually move it. I know I always have to because my hips are super tight. And walk that back leg back, point the toes down so that quad stays facing the ground. Alright, let's go back to that down dog position. And then bring that right leg up and over, stack the hips. Press your hands into the floor, feel that side body open up. Feels good. And bring that knee in. Bring it into a pigeon. Alright guys, let's finish this up. Go back into a pike position or down dog. Press your hands into the floor one more time. Really push those hips back towards your heels. Drop your heels if you can. And get a little pedal of your feet. Try to drop each heel one at a time. And then let's come down into done. Let's come down into done position. All right, warm up. It's going to be an 8-minute AMRAP. 2 exercises. Pay attention to the week. It's transition week. So AMRAP for transition week means a little bit different than AMRAP for conditioning week, right? Transition means a little bit less volume, less intensity, less reps, less weight. Your first exercise, quote unquote, is dead squat. It's in between a deadlift and it's in between a squat. So it is a dead squat. So every time you come back down to the ground, make sure your hips are low, back is flat, touch, and then go. Doing 10 reps. Your next exercise is a kneeling pullover. So take a kneeling position, squeeze your glutes, tuck your pelvis underneath, keep that dumbbell or kettlebell or plate, whatever you have, close to your head. Get that good stretch on the way down. Also going to feel it in your triceps a little bit. And then pull over. Think about pulling the elbows back. Nice proud chest, activating the lats. That's my over-explanation for the kneeling pullover. Physical education. Guys, 10 and 10. We're doing 8 minutes, as many rounds as possible. Create a nice little pace for yourself. Let's get warmed up. All right, work period. Calling it speed dating. Exercise A is going to be your speed dater, and that's going to be your exercise that you do first every round. Make sense, Felicia?
Yeah.
Cool. So it's every 4 minutes on the minute, you're going to start a different round with A. A plus B is the first round. As soon as you're done, you're done. You're resting for the remaining time within that 4-minute block. A is going to be like a mobility / active rest exercise. Okay, so first one is your A, right? A is a roll to sit, roll to V sit. So starting flat on your back, hands on your side, lift up. Try to get that stretch in your lower back, also your neck, and then roll down one vertebrae at a time, reach, lean forward, get that hamstring stretch, and come right back into it. So you can stall that rep and make it last a few seconds as an active recovery, because the other exercises are going to be obviously working and there's a lot of reps in them, so use that exercise A to kind of get your heart rate down and also still keep moving at the same time. Your exercise B is going to be the bottom half, the first step, actually I should say second step of the Turkish get up. Turkish get up, first step is safety first obviously, so we snuggle up here, roll onto our back, and that first step is rolling up. Nice proud chest, driving that bottom elbow into the ground, and rolling back down. Pay attention to this knee, collapsing this way. Your job is to really keep it upright. Keep the knee up and externally or press that hip outward. I even have to work for it. Concentrate on it. So it's 15 each side. What I'm going to suggest is doing 3 at a time each side, switching over, and then doing 3 on the other side. Nice proud chest, driving that elbow into the floor, and then coming back down. Okay? Again, 15 each, switch every 3. Next up, on the board it says kettlebell clean bottoms up, which would be here. So using a kettlebell, pull up, stabilizing right into that bottoms up position. Okay, here. If you're in the center of the kettlebell, that's going to be the most difficult. Okay, you want to keep that weight close to your body and punch it up and be sturdy with that wrist. Now, here's the thing. You want to try a little bit easier. Grab more toward one side. You'll have more handle on the actual kettlebell. It's going to be easier. Okay, what's the phrase? Walk before you crawl, right? So this would be a sprint. So this is like an exercise, an exercise, an exercise advancement, right? Pulling up, having that control, having that wrist strength, wrist stability, also having the shoulder strength, right? But if you can't do a regular snatch, there's no sense even trying that, right? So to regress that down, knowing where you're at as far as fitness level goes, you can just work on a regular clean. Getting that weight up without having that kettlebell flop and hit you in the wrist, right? So a quick little tutorial. When you're pulling that weight up, gravity is carrying that weight up, especially when you use power, right? That weight's traveling. Your job is to control that weight and be able to put that weight where you want it to be without hurting yourself. Does that make sense? So here, before gravity takes over, I'm scooping my hand underneath, catching that weight before it flops. Now if I don't do that, it's very chunky, right? You want to be smooth with it, catch it. That wasn't even that smooth. But if you can't do that, regress one more time. You can simply work on a regular snatch. It's transition week. Find a skill you want to work on and work on it. A regular snatch with a dumbbell is going to be easier than the kettlebell. Still working, right, your hips and also your shoulders, and learning that control on how to keep that weight close to your body and how to move heavier weights without getting hurt. So those are 3 options for you. Find one that you want to work on as a skill today, and that's going to be your exercise C, 12 to 15 reps. Obviously shoot for 15, and if you see that clock starting to head more toward that 4-minute block, stop, because I want you to have some kind of rest, okay? Next up will be Pendlay rows. Pendlay rows, you can use kettlebells or here if you want to use a barbell. But a Pendlay row is being in that fixed 90-degree position, that hinge position, and learning how to travel or learning how to use force to get that weight up to your waist as quickly as possible, right? But you're staying in that fixed position. Every time the weights come down, you want to touch and work on that start-stop speed, okay? That's 20 to 30 reps. I say 20 to 30 if you're going lighter, do 30. If you're going to choose to go a little bit heavier, do 20, okay? That's exercise D. Your exercise E is going to be a hollow hold for 2 minutes. You're here. How I get into position, lie flat in the back, tuck that butt underneath, feet together 6 inches, and then simply just lift my shoulder blades off the floor. You don't have to be up here. Probably going to be more difficult for you. So work on staying low, heels low to the ground, lower back flat, shoulder blades off the ground, holding here. I did it with the morning crew. 2 minutes is a long time. So if you need to go as far as you can, stop, and then collect 2 minutes, totally fine. Just push yourself a little bit. Just a little bit to try to get to that 2-minute mark. All right, get some weights, whatever your phrase may be. But let's get to a 12-minute AMRAP. Here's how it's going down. 12 minutes of you go, I go. What's been cool all week long so far, we've been having the at home, and then the at home in studio crew go back and forth. Maybe a little competition, but also just maybe a little bit of feeding off of somebody else's work ethic, which is what we do here. So first exercise, the burpee or squat thrust. Burpee with a real push-up would be stopping, pressing up. Okay, more advanced, you can do like more of a wave burpee, right? But again, it's be more of an advanced, kind of wiggling your body through the air. Or a basic squat thrust, which is still a great exercise. High plank, up, jump, just eliminating that burpee and that extra pressure on your shoulder. Doing 8 of those, and then Roman sit-ups. Probably use one of the weights you already used. Big exhale on the way up, get a full extension of your shoulders, and then 1 vertebrae at a time on the way down. We're doing 10. Like how I said just put myself in that mix. 8 and 10.